Coming up, we'll be talking about how to define your wedding style. Hello everyone, happy Wedding Wednesday, and today we'll be talking about how to define your wedding style. Now, I talk about this a lot. I talk about style and personality and how important it is, but I haven't actually ever spoken about or written about how to find your wedding style and your couple style. I alluded to this a little bit in my Where to Start with Wedding Planning video, where I named define your style as the second stage to you beginning your wedding planning journey at all. So I thought I probably should do a full video explaining exactly what I mean, and that's what we'll get onto today. But before we begin, why don't you click that subscribe button? I'd love to have you as a subscriber so you can get more wedding tips every single Wedding Wednesday. And let's begin. First up, let's define the term wedding style. Your wedding style is your collective visual identity for your wedding. It should draw from both of your personalities, both of your tastes, both of your cultures, everything that makes your aesthetic yours, as a unit and separately. Your wedding style will come out in the overall look and feel of your wedding, and it has never been so important as it is today. Since the early 2000s, we've seen a burst of creativity when it comes to weddings. So much more individual style and personal flair that's shown in everyone's wedding is fantastic. The boom of creativity in this industry is a feast for the eyes, and you are so lucky to be getting married at this time. There are so many options out there, everything is customizable, and this is how you can show your true colors on your wedding day. So the first step in defining your wedding style is to look at your personal style. Look at both of you individually. How do you dress? What are your favorite color schemes? How do you dress your home? What are your individual cultural backgrounds? Those can be brought into your wedding style too. Really dig deep into your personal aesthetic, both together and individually. The two of you might have really different personal styles. Maybe one of you is super glamorous and the other is shabby chic. Maybe one of you likes really gothic and dark colours and the other one likes really bright and airy colours. These are important to know when you're going into defining your wedding style together. So this is why, if you're already living together, seeing how you dress your home is a really good way of seeing your couple style together, because it's most likely to be a marriage of the two completely converging personal styles. If your personal style is similar, then that's easy, but if it's different, then see how you dress your home. What do you compromise on? It's a really good basis to start for your wedding style. So now we've looked at your personal and couple style, we need to start drawing inspiration. So I can look at a tiling pattern that I see in the street in Portugal and think, oh my god, I've got an entire colour scheme, an entire wedding just out of that one tile. If you're not minded that way, then the best place to start is, God help me, Pinterest. So what I'd suggest is that you open a Pinterest account and you start a board that you can both add to. You can add collaborators on your Pinterest mood board. I've done an entire video on how to use Pinterest, so I'll link that in the description down below. Make sure that you are both collaborators on this mood board and start adding photos. You can just type wedding in the first instance, but what I'd suggest is to be as specific as possible. So once you've had a look at your personal and couple style and you've seen that, for example, you have quite a rustic aesthetic in your home. You are a fan of country cottages and old looking teapots and fireplaces and tartan rugs. That's the type of people that you are. You can then look for inspiration that matches that. So country wedding inspiration, rustic wedding inspiration, bohemian wedding inspiration, even tartan wedding inspiration. You can also draw from your cultural background. So say one of you is Indian, then have a look at Indian wedding inspiration, Indian wedding patterns, and just add that to your mood board and start collecting ideas of what you think your wedding style could look like. Really, really, really important. I cannot stress enough how important it is that you're both collaborators on this mood board. It is not one person's wedding, it is both of your weddings. You need to be collaborators together. You need to do this together. So now that you've got a Pinterest mood board starting to go, or a physical mood board, I also have a video on how to make a physical mood board, you'll start to see your ideas forming. You'll start to see a pattern, and that is your wedding style. That is your couple aesthetic. So the final step, although not many people like this idea, it is important to the process because you're most likely not building your wedding from scratch yourself. You're going to have to hire people to help you build your wedding. So the next step is to add labels. And I know people don't like labels, I get it, but we need to be able to communicate with the people that we're working with so that they know the type of aesthetic that you're going for. A good way to completely bypass this is just to share your mood board. So if you have a Pinterest mood board or a physical mood board, do bring it with you to your supplier meetings with your florist, your planner, your photographer, your cake designer. These people need to know what you're going for. But to help with this, I have a special formula for you to input your own information, and this will just be your statement of style. And this formula goes: we would like an, put in an adjective, a venue type, wedding, with a colour scheme of this colour, this colour, this colour, and this colour. The adjective needs to be a descriptive label for your overall style, so say rustic, gothic, glamorous. In my full blog post on this, I have an example of a whole host of adjectives that you could use to input here. Just use the adjective that best suits you. You don't have to use one, you can use more than one. Say if you're having a rustic gothic wedding, then you can obviously put the two together, but for simplicity's sake, I've just put one here. You then want to put in your venue type. So also in the blog, I've given examples of venue types, but say you want a barn wedding or a hotel wedding or a marquee wedding or an outdoor wedding. Those are the types of things that you want to put into your venue type slot. And then you want to put in the colours of your colour scheme. I have done a full video on how to define your perfect colour scheme, and I've also done specific colour scheme videos now on winter colour schemes and spring colour schemes, just to give you some ideas. I use the 4-tone technique, which is why there are 4 spaces here, but of course you can use 2 or 5 or however many colours there are in your colour scheme. And that's it. That is how you define your wedding style, and at the end of this process you should have a nice neat statement of style. Of course, down below I have linked to the full blog post, which goes into a lot more detail and also has a full list of adjectives and a full list of venue types that you can input to your statement of style to suit you. And I hope that you found this helpful. I'd really like to know what your statement of style is. Please do leave it in the comments below. I'm Olivia from Nulyweds, your millennial wedding planner, and if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.